There are a lot of people out there saying, well, this is it's a made up problem because after all, it's March 31st every year. Let me ask you, if March 31st, if Trans Day of Visibility were to fall on, say, Juneteenth by some sort of random coincidence,
sure.
Do you think that the White House
Well, wait, it wouldn't fall on that day because Juneteenth, he's got it backwards. Easter falls on a different day every year. If it were Trans Day of Visibility that did, then you'd have a point. But Easter's the one that bounces around. If you want it to be on a consistent day of the year, then, make it consistent. All right, so Easter was 2 days ago from the time of me recording this. It will probably have been longer by the time you're watching it on YouTube, if you're not in the live stream, of course, which you should catch me live. You should try to. We have a fun time. But 2 days ago was Easter. Now, it was not just Easter, though. It was another day at the same time. Now, when you were a kid and you had a birthday, right? Like, let's say your birthday's July 4th. That's a good one. July 4th. And it's your birthday. And you get upset because not only is it your birthday, it's also July 4th, right? It can't be both. It's supposed to be about me. I'm the birthday boy. Now, hold on a minute. It's my day. It's not America's day. Screw that. Well, it turns out conservatives are now doing the same thing with International Transgender Day of Visibility, which occurs every March 31st since 2009, at least according to the Wikipedia page here. It occurs every single March 31st since 2009. So, I don't know what to tell you. If you're upset that Easter just happened to fall on the same day as Transgender Day of Visibility, it's really not that big of a deal. I'm sorry, it's not. But Joe Biden, some more or less, they would have groveled about it anyway, for sure. But if Joe Biden had not said this, they definitely wouldn't have been groveling as much, and it would not have been nearly as funny. This is a direct assault on Christianity, says Crone from the X app, right? AKA Twitter. We're at the end, folks. And then this is from Joseph R. Biden himself. Now, therefore, I, Joseph R. Biden Jr., President of the United States of America, by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Constitution and the laws of the United States, do hereby proclaim March 31st, 2024 as Transgender Day of Visibility. I call upon all Americans to join us in lifting up the lives and voices of transgender people throughout our nation and to work toward eliminating violence and discrimination based on gender identity. In witness whereof, I have hereunto set my hand at this 29th day of March in the year of our... 29th day? Oh, did he say this on the 29th? Okay, yeah, okay, I see. In the year of our Lord and Savior, I put and Savior, just subconsciously, 2024, and of the independence of the United States of America, the 248th. There you go. From Joseph R. Biden Jr., based, trans-supporting president. I don't like many of the other things he's doing, but at the very least, he's putting out the good word that trans people deserve rights. So, what's the problem here? Well, according to Crone and many others like Vivek, Rhymes Like Cake, Ramaswamy, Joe Biden just proclaimed that Transgender Visibility Day is on Sunday, March 31st. I wonder how he came up with that date. They're very upsetty spaghetti about this because their special day is on the same day as Transgender Day of Visibility. I don't know why we can't do both. I don't know why there's not room for both. But alas, that is what they've decided. So now they're going to throw a hissy fit about it, or at least they did. I don't know if they still are. It'd be funny if they still were. But here's one from Laura Loomer. Donald Trump made a statement as well. President Trump and his campaign are calling on Joe Biden to apologize to the millions of Christians and Catholics who are celebrating Easter tomorrow after Biden decided to declare Easter, quote, Trans Visibility Day, in an official White House statement. Joe Biden hates you. Unless you're trans, of course. I mean, there's really no getting around that. If you're trans, he, seems to like you quite a bit, actually. All right, let's take a look at what the great Donald Trump had to say. It was appalling and insulting that Joe Biden's White House prohibited children from submitting religious egg designs for their Easter art event and formally proclaimed Easter Sunday as Trans Day of Visibility. Sadly, these are just two more examples of the Biden administration's year-long assault on the Christian faith. We call on Joe Biden's failing campaign and White House to issue an apology to the millions of Catholics and Christians across America who believe tomorrow is for one celebration only, the resurrection of Jesus Christ, who I definitely believe in, for sure. And Donald Trump, by the way. That tweet was the most he did for the community, and there was still outrage. Yeah, for real, all he's done basically for the community is platitudes. I'm going to move this up just a little bit, sorry. 1 second. That work? No, it's not. I'm sorry. I got a perfectionist. Okay, that is a little bit better, I think. We'll leave it where it is. So yeah, even the big orange sweaty boy, Donald Trump, is upset. Sorry, kids, you have to share, exactly. All right, so now the pièce de resistance of this little segment that we're doing, Ben Shapiro came out with a statement as well. 13 minutes, actually, almost 14. This Easter weekend, the Biden administration paid fealty to its actual religion, left-wing insanity. Hence the Trans Day visibility celebrations on Easter. Now, this is not the end of the complaints, by the way. There were like tweets and complaints all over the place about, how it's Transgender Day visibility on the same day as Easter. They can't quite comprehend how that works, but I want to see what Ben Shapiro had to say about it, because he's always just so darn interesting and has the best quality commentary to add to anything. So let's take a look.
Sunday was a deeply religious day for the Biden administration. They celebrated a religion celebrated by so many across the country, the religion of deep, insane progressivism. So, of course, Sunday was Easter, the holiest day on the Christian calendar, and the Biden administration decided it was deeply necessary for them to put out a bunch of messaging over the weekend, including on Easter Sunday, about the Trans Day of Visibility. So, to explain what the hell the Trans Day of Visibility is, you have to understand that it's one of many, like dozens of holidays all around the world about the trans peoples, about people who are gender dysphoric or who believe that they are members of the opposite sex.
What I would give to see the Daily Wire force Ben Shapiro into an Easter egg costume. I want him in one of those, he might have actually done this once. Bunny suit. Wait, he did do it. See? I told you. I knew that I've seen it before. I knew that was not just in here for no reason. There he is. See? There you go, Rowan Ash. You don't have to give a damn thing. You just get to see it. There you go. Oh, in an Easter egg costume. I see. No, bunny costume is still very funny. See? He's showing his Easter spirit. I love it. I unironically like it when Ben Shapiro does these things. I think it's goofy and funny. And I wish that he would do that stuff instead of, shit on trans people.
This holiday was founded by a person named Rachel Crandall Crocker, a dude who believes that he is a woman, and a psychotherapist, because that's the way that the psychotherapy industry now works. And this person says that he knew he was trans since the age of 8. And now the president of the United States pays homage to people like Rachel Crandall Crocker. Here is a clip of Rachel Crandall Crocker explaining his origin story here.
He keeps hesitating on the pronoun there.
I tried to come out to my
Looks like a woman to
when
me.
I was 8 years old, okay? And that was in 1967. Let's just say it didn't go well.
Oh.
Well, I mean, I can imagine it not going particularly well. Joe Biden then put out a statement.
Yeah. Didn't she say when she was 8? She did say when she was 8, right? Like, when an 8-year-old says that something's not going well, or that when an adult says that something didn't go well when you were 8, like, in that context, I feel like that's not great. Yeah, 1967. Wonder how that went.
Statement on Transgender Day of Visibility. Which, again, I don't even know what that means, Day of Visibility.
Kids,
because if there's one thing we know about transgender people in modern America, people who believe they're members of the opposite sex, they don't get enough attention. They need more attention. We need to have...
1000% I agree with Ben on this one, that trans people get entirely too much attention. I don't care for the most part about all the shit that I see about trans people. I really don't. The only reason that I care about it is because of people like Ben Shapiro who don't want them to have rights, Yeah, that can't have been easy. We should make it easier, exactly.
To have an entire day of visibility, as opposed to, like just seeing people around you. There's a day of visibility. So the president of the United States put out a statement, quote, "Today, we send a message to all transgender Americans. You are loved. You are heard. You are understood. You belong. You are America. And my entire administration and I have your back."
Okay, we missed the first part of this. I think that's pretty heartfelt.
Did you know that transgender people are America? Like the definition of America, when the founders were putting together the Constitution of the United States, they said to themselves, what will America be? Will this be a constitutional republic of limited government and guaranteed liberties? Or maybe America is a dude wearing a dress believing that he's a lady. Maybe it's that. According to Joe Biden, it's...
Wait, say that again? Hold up.
America is a dude wearing a dress believing that he's a lady. Maybe it's that.
Okay, if that's how you want to put it, going by Ben's words here, yeah, why not? That's freedom, baby. I'm fine with that.
That. According to Joe Biden, it's that. Like John...
I think that a dude should be allowed to wear a dress and... if he wants to temporarily say that he's a woman but still identify as a man in his primary, ongoings in life, I think that's totally fine. What's wrong with that? That's freedom.
Adams and Thomas Jefferson and Alexander Hamilton, they were all sitting around really working up the courage to explain that America was about the dudes who think they're ladies and vice versa. Joe Biden continues, "Now, therefore, I, Joseph R. Biden Jr., President of the United States of America..."
What Joe Biden meant in that context, because they're being incredibly uncharitable, is it's like Spartacus. I'm Spartacus. I'm America. I am America. I'm America. You know, like the transgender gamer girl standing up. I am America. You know, the trans mask guy in his bear hunting suit standing up. I am America. You know, like everybody standing up. I'm America. That's what he meant.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Constitution and the laws of the United States, do hereby proclaim March 31st, 2020.
Every time he misgenders folks, I remember the time a trans woman threatened to whoop his ass, and I chuckle. That was really funny. Not gonna lie.
As Transgender Day of Visibility. I call upon all Americans to join us in lifting up the lives and voices of transgender people throughout our nation and to work toward eliminating violence and discrimination based on gender identity. Gender identity is, of course, the nonsense notion that you can identify as something other than what you are. This is the best part.
Well, you identify as smart. I'm just saying.
Whereof I have heretofore set my hand this 29th day of March in the year of our Lord, 2024, and of independence of the United States of America, the 248th. So my favorite part of this is where Joe Biden mentions the year of our Lord. That would be Jesus, right? Because we all keep the Christian calendar.
You don't believe in, Mr.
I like that part where he mentions the year of our Lord on Easter, which again is the holiest day in the Christian calendar.
Isn't that weird? Like, he's Jewish and he always puts on, like, he makes a big show out of being Jewish, and yet he's constantly catering to Christians. You know what I mean? Like, I don't get it. What's the deal? Like, it seems out of place to me. Doesn't it? Just like a little bit? I don't know.
Calendar to celebrate Transgender Day of Visibility. The president also put up a bunch of tweets along these lines to celebrate. It's a very important time. Quote, on Transgender Day of Visibility, we celebrate the joy, strength, and absolute courage of some of the bravest people I know. People so brave that if
they're biologically clowns, there's no transitioning out of that.
If you say that they are actually a member of their own biological sex, then apparently an outsized number they kill themselves. This is the actual case that the left is constantly making when it comes to gender dysphoria.
Wait, what did he say? Sorry.
People so brave that if you say that they are actually a member of their own biological sex, then apparently an outsized number they kill themselves.
Wow, that's really disgusting, man. What a piece of shit Ben Shapiro is. F you, man.
This is the actual case that the left is constantly making.
No consideration at all for, like, the safety and well-being of people. Just like, oh, if you say the wrong word to them, they'll just off themselves. Yeah, okay, dude. You.
When it comes to gender dysphoria, is that we all have to pretend along or people will kill themselves, and Joe Biden calls this joy, strength, and absolute courage and bravery. Again, as I've said over the years, when it comes to
the man who can't even grow a beard properly, like, come on, man. Like, you're closer to a woman than I am. You know, I could by the same logic call you a woman and be justified in doing so. I'm probably taller than you. I'm much wider than you are. Heavier. I got more facial hair. My hairline is, you know, what is it? Male pattern baldness, right? I'm just saying. I also don't dye my hair like you probably do.
To the pantheon of American bravery, it goes like transgender people saying that they are members of the opposite sex. They're like all the way up here. And then running a distant second is 18-year-old boys charging the beaches of Normandy on behalf of the Allies. I mean,
he never said they're not American.
They really shouldn't even be in the same category. I mean, we know we're the real.
Well, Ben, are you America? What do? You sit in an air-conditioned office and talk through a microphone about how bad trans people are and brown people. That's what you do. So is that America? If that's America, I don't want to live in America. Sorry.
Bravery is. Joe Biden says today we show millions of transgender and non-binary Americans, not just transgender people who identify as no gender or between the genders.
I saw your post on how he makes a lot more money than smart people in society. Yeah, exactly. And also smart people, quote unquote, I don't even like that word. You know, like, I don't know how much I consider myself a smart person even, but I am intelligent in some areas and very not intelligent in other areas. You know, you can be a very intelligent person in the area of farming. I couldn't farm for shit. Are you kidding me? I don't have the mental or physical capability to farm. Oh yeah, and I also have a deeper voice. Thank you. But anyway, you also, like, I'm pretty good at nursing, you know? She's zooming back there. I'm pretty good at nursing. You know, I'm a nurse. I do that pretty well. I'm pretty good at streaming, I feel like. You know, these are the things that I'm good at. I'm not good at farming. I'm not good at teaching. Well, I'm decent at teaching. I've taught before, but not great. But yeah.
That we see them. They belong. They should be treated with dignity and respect. And then big, pink, and blue graphic, trans rights are human rights. This was put out on Easter morning at 11 a.m. We should note at this point that this is, in fact, the religion of the Biden administration. Not just that. He put out another tweet at 2 p.m. just to make sure that you got it.
By the way, if you're calling it the religion of the Biden administration, calling it a religion would mean that it deserves more respect than you're giving it. So you're basically just calling this a war between religions, and Christianity's the better one. You know, even if you were to frame transgenderism as a religion, as they are so they like to do so often, it doesn't make any sense still, because they're still complaining and bitching and moaning about how like their religions don't get the attention and the respect that they deserve. Well, what about our religion? You're calling it a religion. So are you disrespecting our religion? You know what I mean? I'm just saying, which by the way, it's not a religion. It's well accepted in scientific and medical communities how important it is for trans people to be affirmed, right, for their mental well-being. But Ben doesn't care about that, so whatever.
Right? They put out one at 11 on Easter, then at 2 p.m. on Easter. Again, on Easter, the holiest day in the Christian. I'm not going to say this. Yeah, enough. This is the holiest day in the Christian calendar. I'm just going to point out that the perspective of the Biden administration when it comes to holy days on the calendar goes something like this. You're not allowed to kill terrorists during Ramadan, because if you do, it'll offend Muslims, but you are certainly allowed to pay homage to the completely specious, false, and irreligious notion.
Wait, what did he say?
It goes something like this. You're not allowed to kill terrorists during Ramadan, because if you do...
Who said that? If somebody is committing an act of terror and the only way to stop them is to kill them, I don't give a shit whether it's on Ramadan or not. Who said that? These are very vague gestures, I feel like. And also just insinuating that like Muslim people are always the terrorists, which is cool. Because, he's on record as saying like he wants to like just bomb Muslims out of existence. He called them like sewer rats or some shit.
But you are certainly allowed to pay homage to the completely specious, false, and irreligious notion that men can be women on Easter. That's how different religions are treated by this White House. So President Biden puts out a tweet, quote, "Today, on Transgender Day of Visibility, I have a simple message to all trans Americans. I see you," which is not creepy. That's apparently uplifting. "You are made in the image of God."
Well, it's just a liberal "I see you, I hear you" bullshit. He doesn't actually done that much for trans people, except for be a pro-trans president, which, if you want to be precise about it, or if you want to be fair about it, what other president has gone out of their way for trans people like Joe Biden does? Not even Obama did that, and he was the president who's basically responsible for legalizing gay marriage, isn't he? Like, it happened under his term, at least. So, like, not even Obama was this about trans people as Joe Biden is. So I gotta hand it to him on that one.
God, and you're worthy of respect and dignity.
That's
okay.
big.
Every person is made in the image of God. Also, they are made male and female. It's literally in the same verse in Genesis. My favorite part when Joe Biden says things,
except for when they're not. Like even Ben Shapiro would admit there's exceptions. Are those people not made in the image of God? By the way, I feel like it's important to note that like if God makes people and women are responsible for birthing people, wouldn't that make God a woman technically by that standard at least? Because he's producing people as women would do, Or he's intersex because he can produce people on his own, right? They are made in his image, by the way. Maybe he produces asexually. You know what I mean? Like by budding. Like SpongeBob does. God is SpongeBob. There you go.
Things like, you're made in the image of God. The final part of that verse is, male and female he made them. Literally the same verse.
Okay, well, there you go. If you were born intersex, then you're not in the image of God. Cool.
Read to the end of the sentence, my dude. In any case, the religion of this administration obviously is not Christianity or even some sort of broader secular version of Christian values. It is, in fact, just wild progressivism. We'll get to more on this in just a moment. First, the cost of living has already increased 17% this year. It continues to rise despite interest rate controls.
Gee, I wonder why that is. By the way, Ben, how much do you make, buddy, huh? How much do you make, huh? Cost of living, huh? I bet it's a big problem for you, buddy, huh? Right?
National debt continues to skyrocket. You need to be confident in the financial services companies you work with, especially regarding your future and your money. Birch Gold is a proven industry leader you want on your side. They demonstrate how precious metals investments can fortify your lifestyle and retirement, even in turbulent economic times. Birch Gold understands that navigating financial decisions can be daunting. That's why their expertise, coupled with their customer care process, ensures that your purchase or IRA setup is a breeze. If you're considering converting...
It's so in value, and so, you want to buy gold so badly right now that we're selling all of it. We're selling our entire stock of gold, actually. Why? Oh, because, you should buy it, actually.
Converting an existing retirement account into a precious metals IRA, their dedicated in-house IRA department is there to guide you every step of the way, making the process feel as simple as a walk in the park. Birch Gold values your questions and concerns. Their team is always available to provide answers and clarity, whether it's about fees, taxes on rollovers, or the timing of the process. They're here to ensure you feel heard and informed. Text Ben to 989898 to talk to one of Birch Gold's experts and claim your free info kit on gold. You'll learn how to convert an existing IRA or 401k into a tax-sheltered IRA in gold. The best part is it doesn't cost you a penny out of pocket. Just text
buy
Ben
Alec stickers.
to 9898.
Did you guys know that I have a Patreon shop now? You guys want to see it real quick? Here. There it is, folks. The Alec Gunter store, Gunter Grabs. We have one sale at the moment. They bought a rainbow sticker, and you can buy any of these other stickers. Isn't that cool? Look at that. You got red, orange, yellow, green, aqua, light blue, dark blue, purple, pink, black, white, rainbow, and gold. Rainbow and gold ones are special editions, or they're $5 instead of $2. But yeah, who the fuck buying gold over groceries? Exactly, buy my stickers over groceries. There you go. See, now you got the spirit. I wish that I could do deals, like bundle deals, but I don't know if there's a way to do that. Like if you buy 5, you get 1 free or something. Buy 4, we get 1 free. For right now, it's just $2 a piece, except for the rainbow and gold ones. I like the white one. Yes, so they're about this big, right? So they fit like in the palm of your hand. And they're vinyl, so you can put them on your cars, you can put them on your laptops, your water bottles, they'll be fine, they're waterproof. And you can have trans pride stickers if you get the blue, pink, and white stickers. Isn't that cool? So yeah, think about it. There you go, stickers. I want to try to get more on there soon, but the stickers are all I got right now. So the 8 genders in the Talmud. Ooh, I don't even need to read past that. Thought non-binary gender was a modern concept? Think again. The ancient Jewish understanding of gender was far more nuanced, go away, than many assume. Well, there you go. Zakar, male, nekava, female, androgynous, having both, of course. Tum-tum. Oh, I lack sexual characteristics. I'm tum-tum gender. That's amazing. I love that. Elanit Hamach, identified female at birth, but later naturally developing male characteristics. Elanit Adam, identified female at birth, but later developing male characteristics. Is Hamach Eve's name in the Torah? Or is that what that is? Because we got Adam here. Saris Hamach, identified male at birth, but later naturally developing female characteristics. And Saris Adam, identified male at birth and later developing female characteristics through human intervention. Through human intervention. Wow. The Torah actually supports trans people. Cool. I love tum-tum gender, but alas, I have too many sexual characteristics. Can't be tum-tum gender.
9898, that's Ben's, and 989898.
Thank you for that.
According to Fox News, children of the National Guard were prohibited from submitting religious Easter egg designs for the 2024 Celebrating National Guard Families art event at the White House. So it's Easter, and people were painting crosses on eggs, and Joe Biden's like, no, none of that. The only symbols we will allow here are like the Pride Progress flag flying.
I don't actually know. I doubt. Did Joe Biden actually keep people from drawing crosses on their eggs? Did he actually do that? Can anybody substantiate that? Because if he did, I disagree with it, by the way. But I don't think he actually did that, according to Fox News. Yeah, that's all I need to hear.
From the giant rotunda of the White House. The art contest is part of the White House's Easter.
Here, you know what? Let's check. Posts misrepresent White House Easter egg contest, Day of Transgender Visibility Proclamation. This is from AP News. Fact check. Criticized by many on social media, including several Republican politicians for supposedly disrespecting the Christian holiday. Claim, Biden declared that Easter Sunday is now a holiday celebrating transgender people. So we already know. Here we go. Claim, Biden banned religious symbols from a White House Easter egg art contest. The facts. A flyer soliciting children from National Guard families to submit an egg design for a White House exhibit organized in collaboration with the American Egg Board specified that submissions should not include religious symbols or overtly religious themes. But such restrictions are nothing new. I don't know if I like that. I'll be honest. You know, Easter is a Christian holiday, but on the other hand, if you're going to call it like a national holiday, you can't really base it in any kind of religion, can you? So I don't know. I mean, I think it's fine to allow all or nothing. All or nothing. I don't know. I could swing either way on that. The American Egg Board has been a supporter of the White House Easter egg rule for over 45 years, and the guideline language referenced in recent news reports has consistently applied it to the board since its founding across administrations, Emily Metz, its president and CEO, said in a statement. So when they say that you're not allowed to draw crosses on there, they're not lying, but they are misrepresenting the fact that since it is a legal institution, they would rather just not display religious symbols. Because on Easter Sunday, it's going to overwhelmingly be Christian, you know, and that's not very good representation for the totality of all of the religions that exist in the United States. I don't know. I think it's fine. I think it's fine to not allow religious symbology on it, now that I think about it. I know I keep going back and forth on it. Inconsistent leftists, as always. I want to submit an egg with a Baphomet on it. See, that's... As soon as somebody submits that, the Christians will be like, oh, you can't do that. No. And then they'll be right back to where they were, where it's like, okay, fine. They'll cross their arms and walk away. Fine. No religious symbols. Fine.
Easter traditions, which include the annual Easter egg roll. The flyer for the contest states that an Easter egg design submission quote must not include any...
They're just mad that the United States does not revolve around their religion.
Questionable content, religious symbols, overtly religious themes, or partisan political statements. So just going to point out that I assume that if you put trans flag colors on the Easter egg, totally fine. That is not a partisan political statement. It is not a piece of questionable content or religious symbol.
I don't know.
You just have to make sure that everything is, on the up and up with the secular left. That is the religion of this White House. By the way, this isn't just the White House.
You should respect it.
Kathy Hochul decided over the weekend that it was very important to light up buildings in New York.
Don't forget it,
in
Jack.
the trans colors. According to Colin Rugg, New York Governor Kathy Hochul has ordered that New York landmarks be lit up in transgender flag colors on Easter Sunday. She issued a proclamation declaring March 31st, 2024 Transgender Day
As opposed to Easter colors, I guess. What's Easter
of
colors?
visibility.
Like, it's just pastels. Anything pastel is an Easter color. Okay, like what were they gonna light it up? What colors? Like, let's be real here. Also, this isn't trans as much as, well, I guess it kind of is. But it looks bisexual right here. This is definitely some bisexual vibes.
The landmarks that are now apparently transed are Niagara Falls, One World Trade Center, Empire State Plaza, Kosciuszko, I'm not sure how to pronounce this, Kosciuszko Bridge, the State Education Building, and more. Governor Kathy Hochul today issued a proclamation declaring it Trans Day of Visibility.
Gold and white.
It's very important that
You see blue and purple. I see gold and white.
everyone across the land know that men who believe that they are women are in fact women.
The dress was blue and black, by the way. It was literally blue and black.
And Kathy Hochul will make you see that at the top of the Empire State Building on Easter Day. So President Trump then put out a statement. And the statement was from Carolyn Leavitt, his national press secretary. It said, it is appalling and insulting that Joe Biden's White House prohibited children from submitting religious egg designs for their Easter art event.
But they've always
and
done
formally
that.
proclaimed Easter Sunday as Trans Day of Visibility. Sadly, these are just two more examples of the Biden administration's
It's been Trans Day of Visibility since 2009. It's just that we've never had a president acknowledge it. Did he acknowledge it last year? March 30th, 2023. A proclamation of on Transgender Day of Visibility. Yeah, this is from Joseph Biden too. Transgender Day of Visibility celebrates the joy, strength, and absolute courage of some of the bravest people I know, blah, blah, blah. Like, this is from last year, and Easter did not fall on March 31st last year. So they're just waffling over nothing. It just so happened that Easter fell on this day. Hello, hollow out. I'm doing better than I was, I'll be honest. Once I started streaming, I felt better. Funny how that works.
years-long assault on the Christian faith. We call on Joe Biden's failing campaign and White House.
Pastel blue and pink, the most normal Easter egg colors. That is true. That is very true. Yeah, like, this is exactly the color that they were upset about. This is exactly the color they were upset about, and it's just an Easter egg. But Alec, it wasn't on Easter that time. No. See? Look, pink, blue, and white. And then you got yellow and green tossed in there because those are also pastel colors. All right, we're going to keep going.
House to issue an apology to the millions of Catholics and Christians across America who believe tomorrow is for one celebration only, the resurrection of Jesus Christ. Now, again, the Trump statement is correct. That is obviously what the Biden administration is doing. Now, there are a lot of people out there saying, well, this is it's a made up problem because after all, it's March 31st every year. Let me ask you, if March 31st, if Trans Day of Visibility were to fall on, say, Juneteenth by some sort of random coincidence,
Sure.
do you think that the White House would...
Well, wait, it wouldn't fall on that day because Juneteenth, he's got it backwards. Easter falls on a different day every year. If it were Trans Day of Visibility that did, then you'd have a point. But Easter's the one that bounces around. If you want it to be on a consistent day of the year, then, make it consistent. But so far, it's just bounced around.
put both of those messages out at the same time? Like, which particular religious messages does the White House mirror? So the White House responded to these complaints, suggesting that this is all just about anti-trans rhetoric. It's not about defacing Easter with a bunch of blasphemous nonsense that happens to be anti-science also. The White House then suggested that Republicans are nasty. So White House spokesperson Andrew Bates said, quote, as a Christian who celebrates Easter with family, President Biden, first of all, whenever Joe Biden whips out his Christianity to use as a club.
Whips it out.
Right after supporting taxpayer-funded abortion.
Gonna whip out some Christianity on you, Jack. Ooh, baby.
Transing of the children in same-sex marriage. It's a little odd. It's a little strange. As a Christian who celebrates Easter with family, President Biden stands for bringing people together and upholding the dignity and freedoms of every American. Sadly, it's unsurprising politicians are seeking to divide and weaken our country with cruel, hateful, dishonest rhetoric. President Biden will never abuse his faith for political purposes or for profit. He literally abuses his faith for political purposes pretty much every time he cites his Catholicism in defense of his pro-abortion positions.
Unlike Ben Shapiro, who would never do that. Never. He doesn't do that. Especially not with Israel, which is like the biggest political issue in the entire world right now. He would never do that. That's not Ben.
Look forward to the White House's Christmas Day statement in favor, I assume, of partial birth abortion, in celebration of partial birth abortion on the day Jesus was born. I think probably they're actually going to do that. That seems probable at this point. So Biden.
Hold on, what?
Day Jesus was born. I think probably they're actually going to do that. That seems probable at this. partial of his pro-abortion positions. I do look forward to the White House's Christmas Day statement in favor, I assume, of partial birth abortion.
Let's go. I want partial birth abortion visibility day. I think that'd be awesome. And it should fall on December 25th. Absolutely. 1000%. That would be crazy. That would go wild.
In celebration of partial birth abortion on the day Jesus
Here's your
born,
partial birth abortion
I think probably
day
they're actually
card.
going to do that. That's
My family and I all got into a pose for partial birth abortion day and sent postcards to our family members and friends.
Seems probable at this point. So Biden then put out an Easter message, a piece of damage control. Joe Biden put out a statement saying, quote, Jill and I send our warmest wishes to Christians around the world celebrating Easter Sunday. Easter reminds us of the power of hope and the promise of Christ's resurrection as we gather with loved ones.
Fuck is a partial birth? So partial birth abortion is essentially a myth that was made up by conservatives whereby they basically say that like as the baby is coming out, they're killing it. And it doesn't happen, okay? Often birth will be induced and then the baby will die in the process because it simply is not capable of living on its own yet. And so, you know, if it's in a state where it can't feasibly survive on its own, they'll try to save it, but often it will die. And if that happens, oftentimes doctors are accused of committing a partial birth abortion, which is simply not true. They didn't do that. They induced an abortion. And that's why, by the way, I recently learned this. That's why they'll often induce fetal death and then remove the fetus, even though it is more unsafe to do it that way. Did you guys know that? It is more unsafe to induce fetal death first and then do the abortion. Did you know that? But the reason they do it is it's not for safety reasons. It's not for like medical reasons. It's for legal reasons because they're afraid of getting sued for committing a partial birth abortion. So they kind of shot themselves in the foot on that one, didn't they?
We remember Jesus' sacrifice. We pray for one another and cherish the blessing of a dawn of new possibilities. With wars and conflicts taking a toll on innocent lives around the world, we renew our commitment to work for peace, security, and dignity for all people. From our family to yours, happy Easter and may God bless you. By the way, when he says work for peace, security, and dignity for all people, understand he just used that exact same language with regard to people who have the delusion that they are members of the opposite sex.
Well, even if you, okay, wait, hold on. Let me listen to that one more time.
By the way, when he says work for peace, security, and dignity for all people, understand he just used that exact same language with regard to people who have the delusion that they are members of the opposite sex.
Okay, let's say that what Ben is saying is like correct. That like what Ben is saying is correct and like they're under some kind of delusion, right? Okay, they should still have peace, security. They should still be taken care of. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make any sense. What, you don't want to take care of those people? And yeah, Ben is the delusional one here. Good point.
All people. Understand he just used that exact same language with regard to people who have the delusion that they are members of the opposite sex. Okay, but the left went even further than that. The left decided that anyone who opposed the conflation of quote-unquote trans day of visibility and Easter, these are people who apparently are cruel bigots. Not just that. Apparently, according to these same people, Jesus would have himself been a super big proponent, it turns out, of the trans ideology. Now, where do they get this from? I have no idea. Jesus, it turns out, for those who have even a cursory knowledge of the New Testament, I'm not a Christian, but I've read the New Testament. Jesus is a pretty judgmental guy. He has some rules. Turns out, not every behavior is approved.
Jesus is not judgmental at all. Has he read the Bible? Like, has he read the New Testament? No, Jesus is the opposite of judgmental. That's the whole reason for the New Testament is he was supposed to be like a counter to God, basically. You know, like a counterbalance.
By Jesus. Nonetheless, here was David Jolly on MSNBC suggesting, former Florida Republican Party representative, the kind who's welcome on MSNBC, he's earned some strange new respect. Here he was suggesting Jesus would have been totally cool with the transgenderism.
Yeah,
I think we got to hit it head on and suggest to President Trump and Mike Johnson and Senator Blackburn and others who are relying on the words of their Christ and their Jesus they celebrate today to condemn Joe Biden, to suggest to them that actually the Jesus they celebrate today would be inclusive of the transgender.
And evolution, but I know what you mean by counterbalance. Yeah, Roman, he acts like a counterbalance because God was the one who was like implementing all these harsh rules and saying that like, okay, if you don't follow my way of, if you don't follow me, then you're basically condemned to hell, right? And Jesus was the one who was supposed to come here and say, well, as long as you abstain as best you can from sinning and you ask for forgiveness for your sins at the end of it, and you open yourself up to God, to God's love, then he will accept you into heaven. I know what you mean regardless. Okay, got it. I thought Christ was a universal figure. He is, like, he's a prophet in other Abrahamic religions, and even non-Abrahamic, I believe. He's considered a prophet. But in Christianity, he's considered part of God. So
community and would be supportive of the transgender community and command all Christians, including Donald Trump, Mike Johnson, and others who celebrate today, that in fact they should love the transgender community as they love their own God.
Okay, no, that is wrong. So again, I'm not going to speak for Christians here because I'm not one, but I am going to say I have at least
fine.
more knowledge about this than David Jolly does, apparently.
Jesus said, love God before all things, and then he said, love your neighbor as you love yourself. And your transgender neighbor is still your neighbor. So I see no problem with this. He never said love God more than your neighbor. He just said, love God and love your neighbor. Love thy neighbor, not condemn thy neighbor to hell. Exactly. I'll still never understand how God can be all-powerful but also require blood magic to forgive sins. It doesn't make any sense. I'm sorry. This is why I just couldn't be a Christian anymore. I asked too many questions. Shit wasn't adding up. The math wasn't mathing. So, and also they just don't like gay and trans people. Judaism believes Jesus was just a normal guy lying. I don't know if Jews I don't know if in Judaism they consider Jesus a liar. I just think that they consider him like a religious prophet, and they tell different stories about what he actually said. Like when he said he's the son of God, he meant it in the way that all of us are children of God. Because if you think about it, that would make Jesus our brother, right? We're all children of God. It's just Jesus was saying, I am one of the sons of God. And being that being the case, I'm going to make that my identity, and essentially he identifies as the son of God, and I don't know. And then that would make him basically just a speaker for God, like prophets were. Depends on the Judaism. And yeah, Judaism isn't a monolith either. Just like Christianity. Just like any religion. But yeah, at the end of the day, this is all just waffling over nothing. Like I said, this is just them whining like a child whining about July 4th being on the same day as his birthday. There's no way around it. It's just very silly. Very silly. Hey, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please be sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you want to see more, hit the notification bell to be notified when I upload. If you enjoy my content, you enjoy what I do, I really appreciate any financial help that I can get. Go to youtube.com/AlecGunterTTV/join. You got some awesome benefits, such as seeing early videos, awesome emotes that you can use in the comments of YouTube videos, and a sweet badge next to your name. So if that sounds interesting to you, I'd really appreciate if you join. It is cheaper than the cost of a blowjob from your mom. So with all that being said, thank you again for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.